Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Cowdino Arcade to Video Game Therapy. Whew, it's been one. If you're new to Video Game Therapy, welcome. This is where I kind of talk about a recent dilemma or conundrum I've had in life. I think dilemma is the most accurate thing, and try to talk about it in a pretty general way so that people can relate and maybe they're going through similar dilemmas or similar things. And to those of you who are returning, well, if you've heard me in the past talk about dissatisfaction with work or things like that, well, this is a continuation, an explicit talk about that. And lately, I guess the current job I'm in, I do want to do software engineering. I've decided it's the job I'm in is consulting, and it's not the kind of work I can say that I walk away with experience from in a few years. It's not challenging me. There's a lot of things with it. And so I started interviewing about 2 months ago, or applying 2 months ago, and I was hoping that I'd have a job offer, and I was expecting to not have one. High hopes, low expectations. And here I am sitting with 3 choices between jobs, which is, incredible for so many reasons. And I want to talk about, what is fueling my decision now. Maybe if you're in a similar position, jobs, schools, even whatever it might be. I'm pretty confident with the job I'm about to accept now, and it feels really good, to say the least. And I feel somewhat secure in making this decision, and I've gone through the mill in these last couple days. It's where will this further mean my career? What kind of challenges does this pose to me? Is it something I'll enjoy doing? Will there be time and mental energy to still make videos and work on my own things in my off time, etc., etc.? And I guess, I could talk for ages about going through all of those. Where does my personality align best? And I think it's super valuable. And so 2 things that I wanted to, mention is, on one hand, if you're going through a similar thing, it's something that I guess helped me, and something I'll continue to do because I never usually do this, is instead of weighing all the factors, think about it without one of those factors. If I think of career, personality, and technical challenges, well, if I remove career from the picture and just think, what do I want to do for the next year, regardless of where it'll get me, then, one of the offers kind of dips out immediately, in a sense, which to me was fascinating. And the thing that finally made this choice for me is kind of like I wrote down a little prompt for myself on my cellular device on this note. Oh, I have a Lotus Star, so I should be good for a minute. I gotta watch out for jumps. Don't multitask. So one of the things with the current job is it kind of feels like, in a way, they would have hired anyone with a pulse. And these 3 offers, 2 of them more so than the third, really kind of fought for me. And that was kind of I guess not unusual, but a different feeling. Never experienced it before. Don't know if I will again, but it was kind of wild. They offered a call and explained to me this and that, go over offer details, whatever, and it feels good. I mean, it's all of a sudden this feeling I lacked will be present. I guess I can kind of know that. But all of a sudden, a really good friend of mine I was talking with about this, and something she said was like, well, you keep coming back to this 3rd offer, and it seems really different than the others. I just double backflip. Didn't I just do that? Okay. And I think it's because they're offering something that the other 2 aren't, and that is it. And so all of a sudden, with these, offers, we'll call them XYZ, with X and Y, they're both related to web development, and each has an advantage over the other, and at the end of the day, I chose one over the other. But the 3rd one is offering something that I would not normally do. I would not normally do the job of Z. I gravitate toward front-end development in my free time. I've been doing web stuff for a while, but Offer Z is something totally new to me, and it sounds like they tackle some really cool problems, and it sounds like they appreciate me, based on some things I've heard, what they've said. And that, again, has just meant a lot. And so it kind of came down to, you know, how different do I want? Do I want something that is going to be not familiar, because, you know, these are my first software engineering jobs. But it's, I don't know, something that I want as an immediate next step. And it's I've spoken to probably a dozen different people at this point, friends, family alike, just, you know, what their perspectives are, what their opinions are. And I don't know, it's just fascinating to hear perspectives of people who, I guess, know me to some degree and whatnot. And yeah, and it's funny because you'll hear things, you'll see things, and they'll kind of hit you at a subconscious level. Someone said to me, "Go where the dragons are." I looked up the quote, couldn't find a thing about it, heard nothing about it. And I love the quote because, you know, I interpreted it in a specific way and it's helped me make this decision. And another thing is, and I've made a VGT on omens in the past, and now that to me, I guess omens are these things that can show up and you choose how to interpret them. It's not like religion, but similar only in the sense that there's something intangible there, but you get to choose if you believe in it or not, and you get to choose if it drives you towards something. And that was huge. Can I get the double backflip off this chasm, please? Thank you. And we're about to hit 20,000. Trick points. I didn't see the rock. Anyway, God, that is cursed 96%. A cursed 96%. I wish I kind of did that on purpose. That'd be an amazing script. Anyway, I think if you know, one thing that does help is if you kind of choose to look for omens in a way. And as long as they reaffirm some sort of belief, I think that's where their power lies. So, you know, a company, I use a productivity app called Todoist. The company behind them is called Doist. You know, Todoist without the two. And I want to work for them one day. I think, you know, that's something I want to do. And about 3 months ago when I started applying, they published a full stack engineering role for seniors. I was 99% sure, and I'm only ever like 97% sure. 99% sure I was going to get rejected, but I still applied. You know, I put not my heart and soul into it, but I gave really thoughtful answers to things. And of course I got rejected like 2 days later, which was an amazing turnaround time from them, not gonna lie. And you know, I'm not a senior. This is my first engineering job. But then, and I guess you can kind of find this out if you really wanted to, but I'm still not gonna say it. Doist then posted another job position somewhat recently, because I checked just for the fun of it. I didn't get an email notification this time, but they posted a position for, that's, you know, a senior position that's related to Job Z, the one I'm going with. And it, to me, was kind of like, okay, well, I applied for full stack and I got rejected. Sure, you know, full stack is something I want to do, but if they just posted a job for position Z, you know, what if they do that in the future and the full stack position is no longer available? What if, I don't know, there's a lot of what ifs, not gonna lie, but it's just cool to think, you know, that it's not like I was leaning towards job A, for example, and then that happened and then it immediately switched my mind. I think that's where omens maybe aren't as helpful, so to speak. You know, it shouldn't be something that changes your mind. You know, if, oh, I chose a job, you know, I was so confident in job A, but went job Z because some job opening on a company I will not work for in a very long time, if ever, posted it. But it was kind of like, I'm really leaning towards job Z, and Doist posted that position, and all of a sudden I thought, you know what? That's cool. I want to go for that. And with that omen in mind, I kind of like, I don't know, subconsciously, maybe that's how I listen to my heart. A friend of mine said, you know, man, if you know, you're objective, you're rational, you've broken it down, pros and cons list, they often negate themselves, as I know a little too well. And You guys said listen to your heart, and I was like, how the hell do I listen to my heart? What are you talking about? And I think to me, for now at least, listening to my heart is listening to these nonsensical omens or something. But there's a genuine excitement for doing something totally new, something that'll require time and ambition, things that I have. And yeah, it sounds like the people there want to work with me, and it sounds like I want to work with them. I keep coming back to justify position. You know, I guess at the end of the day, it's just funny how, you know, no one person can tell me to call the shots. All three of these options are right answers at the end of the day. You can't go wrong. And, you know, I'm not looking for a friend of mine to say, okay, go with X. Just done deal. I was looking for perspective. You know, no one made a call. No one, all of my friends gave me, my family gave me perspectives. And it's just, you know, the more you talk about things, the more you just get them out there, the more you talk them over with someone, get away from me, you freaky lemur. The more you talk about things, the more you go over that, the more you'll hear yourself speak, which is kind of what I try to do with these VGTs, right? The more I hear myself speak about something, the closer to an answer that I get. And so the more I started talking about these jobs in comparison to each other, which largely came down to one of X or Y versus Z, I kept realizing I would come back to Z and justify that is the worst thing I've ever had to experience. You know, I kept coming back to Z, and that was important to me. And it did come down to who's offering me the more technical challenge between these last two positions. And it's not that one position is going to be like, oh, I'm totally used to this. Again, I'm a junior, but also I'll be tackling things I never would. It's just a new area that, again, I would not gravitate towards naturally. And I guess I'll just say it. I've kind of already said it, I realize, with the Todoist thing. But the full stack stuff, the front end stuff, I gravitate towards that in my free time. And I'd love to do that as a contracting job or something like that as I gain more experience and you know, have that work experience under my belt. My shoulder's getting a little sore here, so I might wrap up after this run. But you know, I might gravitate toward, I might do full stack in the future. I'm curious to look into back-end frameworks and all these fun things because it's, you know, what I'm used to building. But, you know, I might never explore the back-end world again. And I mean, even now, it's, you know, this VGT is kind of justifying this decision, but I only now have I realized I have no qualms about this. You know, I could justify job X is, you know, it's something I love doing. This is not the full stack one. The people seem great. The company is cool. It's cool being a part of a startup. But if I do that, if I talk about job X in that regard, then there's still okay, but this other thing that's like totally new. Well, I still have that question in my mind. Anyway, that's a lot of rambling. Gonna keep it a little short. I could go on for a while. I'm gonna go sign this bad boy. Let other people down kind of sucks, but make the best decision for you at the end of the day. And I think I'm gonna go where the dragons are. You know, go where those mythical beasts are that you don't know if you can conquer them or not. And you'd rather find out, positive or negative, versus, you know, staying as whatever occupation you are in your medieval village. Weird analogy, quote to think about, but yeah. Have a good one. Thanks for watching and or listening. And as always, don't forget to stay awesome. I hope to see you next week.